Show starting.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo. Let's get it on. Ah, baby. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Woo. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby. No, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong if the love is true. Oh, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on. I wanna get it on. Come on, baby. I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. If the spirit moves you, let me groove you. Good, let your love come down. Woo. If you believe in love, oh, I'm asking you, baby, to get it on with me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I ain't gonna worry. I ain't gonna push. I won't push you, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on. Oh, get it on. This minute, I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. Oh, please get it on, baby. If you believe in love, let's get it on. Woo, woo, woo. Do you know it? No, I'm being sanctified.
To the most anticipated night of the week. We are the Four Color Fossils, and we are joined by special guest Comic Mag Musings. Hello there, and hope you all are doing well. Let's check the chat, see who's all here. Let's start off with Recess and Comic Book Curator. Hello there. Fireball is always good to see Fireball. The Jackson Roy Kirk. Comic Collector, hello there. Lead Paint. All right. Jambo cannot make it tonight. He's once again on the side of the road. You never know what he's up to.
No Betty for you, Jackson.
Yeah, Jambo's not here. Sorry about that. Here's Eric Boyd. Hello there. Fantastic. All right. If you've been busy and didn't notice that Sunday, Captain Strange-Life had a contest with Horror Mike. And at some point, they had a mysterious visitor show up and it scared everybody to death, I'm sure. This guy right here, you'll have to guess who that is. I actually have a behind-the-scenes photo. How do I get that? Well, that was because it was me. And my battery was dying, and I had to be putting that back into the other room and plugging it in. And Captain Strange-Life called me and said, hey, dummy, you won. You better get back into the chat. So I thank you for that book, and I get a movie from Horror Mike, and looking a lot forward to it. So if you haven't seen it, go to Captain Strange Life and check that out. It's a 4-hour extravaganza. I couldn't make it though. I finally had to crash again. I just couldn't do it. But those guys are the pros. They can talk all night long. I can't do that, but
I can hardly do it either.
I do have an announcement before I get started. A lot of you, I'm sure, have said in the past, Graphic Man, I like Thanksgiving, but I wish I could spend it with Graphic Man. Well, this year you can, because Joe Morton and I will be hosting a live stream on Thanksgiving Day in the afternoon. So if you guys are done, eating turkey, and speaking of turkey, here's 2 turkeys and they're totally free right on the screen for you. He'll be
That's
coming
cannibalism,
over here.
isn't it?
Yes. He'll be over here and we'll be just talking about all kinds of stuff. And feel free to show up, ask Joe a question, or ask it in the chat. But I wanted to get that out there. Joe's looking forward to that. My family already had a Thanksgiving based on people's schedules. And so I'm freed up. And I said, Joe, are you doing anything? He said, no, I'll come on over. So you were going to say something, Gratu?
I was just wondering if it was, you already answered whether it's at his place or yours. So you
It'll be
invited
right
him
here.
over.
He's going to bring a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll just go through it with this little camera and have at it. So if you're bored and you're still awake, you haven't passed out from the turkey, then come on in and check that out. I'm going to go ahead and start with some lovely books to show. We'll start off with Strange Adventures. Ooh. It's an eraser, so you can make your Vince Coletta jokes now. Some of you will get that.
Doesn't work on Gil Kane.
No, it doesn't.
Tony Tallarico, maybe.
House of Mystery. Another House of Mystery. Oh, no, it's a flying man.
Never seen those in a comic book before.
No, especially not from DC. I just picked this up today. Spent $1.
Ooh.
I've never seen this before. It's a King feature. So
Pretty good for $1, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And this one was also $1. I collect Looney Tunes. I don't have this one. It's $1.18. So, but they always find a good home over here. I love them in any shape. And speaking of Joe, Joe gave me this just 2 days ago. So
Shudder.
thank you, Joe. Yep, it's hard to hold still. It makes me shudder. It's a Frazetta.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this is good. I'm very leery about modern.
It's okay. I've read the whole series.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's enjoyable because of the way they spread them out. Yeah.
Well, because it's modern, which one of these changes gender? I just need to know that.
That depends on who wrote it.
Yeah. And Johnny Quest here imitating Evil Knievel or something. I don't know what's going on. I haven't.
Oh my God, I was so glad when I finished up that series. Finally, those last 2 issues were a beast.
I still can't get what is that number 5, the Dave Stevens cover. I still can't find it. So
I might be able to hook you up. I'll message you if I got an extra one.
Oh, that'd be swell. Here's a Mickey Mouse rocking the little violet and pink shoes number. Of course, I'm a sucker for Funny Animal. Now, this is a Whitman, but for some reason they put the barcode on there. So go figure. If it was in a sack or in a bag, another Whitman with the barcode. I'm probably the only grown man right now showing Mickey Mouse tonight. So, here's Superman as the last man on Earth.
Yes. Again. Yes.
Of course, Fauci would say he still needs to wear a mask. I slip them in whenever I can, folks. All right. Here's when Superman kicked Clark Kent out.
Mm-hmm.
Said, hit the road.
Gotta make sure you got that hat.
And I think the Parasite's a great villain. Here, Superman is he's just about had it. You know, how dare you come here and do this to Metropolis? He's basically saying, try that in a small town. Some of you will get that too. And I'll wrap this little nice roundup with another Strange Adventures. It's bringing home a pet.
Nice colors on the blade.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to run to Captain Strangelove.
Oh,
And you see we have a nice crowd tonight. So, there you go, Captain.
all right. Well, I'm gonna start out with the your thumbnail.
Oh, you got it. Wonderful. Look at that.
Beauty.
It's number 1. This is a Superior comic. It's Canadian, actually.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they rarely credited any of their artists, particularly their cover artists.
No, there's so I couldn't find any credit, any information on who the cover artist was on that, but it's pretty nice, though. Pretty nice series. I got stuff down here. Let me also get some Innocence out of the way. Thought this would be nice for Halloween. I just found this in a pile, so I pulled it out.
Wow, you could say that's a crossover with one of those 3 ghosts.
Yeah.
Spooky. Yeah.
And the monsters in the back. You got Frankenstein, Dracula, and some kind of creature and whatever. I don't know. I'm going to post this on Instagram with Elvis Presley's You Look Like an Angel. You're the devil in disguise. And I got the Fear book, which is basically reprints, I think. 2024 Vampires Camilla Fear book. I remember the last one, I think they had one new story, but I think these are all reprints from earlier issues. I got that. I think I showed this on my channel. I don't know if I showed it on yours or not. I don't remember. It's from number
ACG.
That's great.
January 1951. Year before I was born. Might have shown this. I don't know. Oh, maybe not on yours. I showed this on my previous video, not the Halloween one before that. Ken Bald, who did the Dark Shadows newspaper strip.
Yeah, he did a lot of horror covers for ACG. He was incredible.
And just pull this out. That was. Oh, by the way, this is a Ogden Whitney cover. And this is an Ogden Whitney cover. Adventures into the Unknown. Nothing particularly gruesome about this except Cujo over there. What is it, man? Oh. Did I show this on your channel?
That's great.
I can't remember, Mike, if I showed it on the fossils or not, man. I know I showed it on somebody's channel.
I don't think any of us are sharp anymore to remember.
Oh, let's see, man. Mars and Mars.
Uh-oh.
Can we get some blue wrenches to clean up this chat, please?
Yes. I have one, and she's not here.
Rats.
There's a Mr. Mystery number 18 from 1952. Bernard Bailey on the cover.
Man.
And there's a story here by Basil Wolverton called The Robot Woman.
Oh yeah, that's of course that's a good one. Yeah.
That is a beauty.
Hey, there you are.
And then
Bobby.
I think I'm breening somebody here, but I can't remember who it is from another video. Was it?
That was
Spinner
Horror
Rack,
Mike.
maybe? Number
Horror
8.
Mike showed that. I
Horror
think.
Mike.
Oh, horror. No, I don't think he has this.
Then maybe you showed it because I remember him talking about it.
Oh, really? Then yeah, I
Yeah.
guess he does have it then.
Yeah, Captain, I think you're braining yourself.
No, I didn't show this then.
I think you did. I recall it.
No, that
Hope it
wasn't
didn't
me.
hurt.
Telling you.
Someone was
me.
making a joke about the corpse coming through a porthole. I thought it was Horror Mike, and
Yeah, it could
so
be
I thought
right.
he
then.
showed it, but maybe it was you. I don't know.
No, that wasn't me.
Someone else had the same book.
That
Maybe
must have, yeah.
Night
that was-
Tiger could have been Night Tiger.
Oh, one of the two, but it wasn't me. Anyway, it's number 8 from 1952. What's this? Oh, this is Mr. Mystery number 1 from 1951.
Man. That's awesome.
So you got inks by, the covers by Ross Andrew, and some of the interiors inks are by Esposito. Mysterious Adventures number 24 from 1955.
Wow.
Mysterious Adventures number 23 from 1954.
Man.
That is a good one.
Number 10 from 1952. Number 4 from 1951. Don't know who did this cover.
Got all these in the early 70s when they're still affordable.
No, a few of them maybe. This is a later one that I bought, though. I know that. I don't even have any other info on this thing. I don't even know what the cover, what number it is. Got the number up there with the dark background. I can't read it. No, wait. Is it here? No, I don't know. And then this is I'm sure I've seen somebody show this one. Out of the Shadows from
Yep.
1953. Covers by George Russo. Love that cover, man. I love Spider.
That wasn't George Bell by any chance, was it?
That wasn't what?
I'm asking if Eric would know that. That's not George Bell.
So
It's little before my time.
Couldn't
yeah, so that's about it right now, except that, I talked about this. This is the new Gold Key, Boris Karloff Gold Key Mysteries. The interiors are not that great, but I bought 2 of these because I wanted to support them. There was a Kickstarter that they did, and I don't know if they got I think they went off to a bad start with the interior art, though.
They got off to a bad start by letting Steve Orlando write some of it.
What are his past sins?
This guy here.
He could have just as easily written that new Green Lantern book.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Needle nose there.
Yeah, the Needle Nose. He reminds me of one of the Ritz brothers, man. Those guys, the comedy team in the 1930s, the Ritz brothers, they had those needle noses. That's all what I've got here. So.
All right.
So who's going to follow Bear Bryant at Alabama here? Because that's what it's going to be like for whoever has to follow that.
Well, Well, we'll go to Bill, who's known as Gene Stallings.
Hey, one-time Cardinal coach.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, I want to say thank you. Thanks for having me on again.
You bet.
We were locked in intense negotiations.
Yes, that's
My
right.
agent, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. We were insisting on our appearance fee, but after an intense letter writing campaign, where I literally got dozens of letters beseeching me to be on the show again, I waived my appearance fee, only to find out through careful handwriting analysis that the Jackson Roy Kirk wrote every one of those letters. So you got me, Jackson. Fair enough. I appreciate the effort. I'm on the show for you, sir. All right. So I'm going to take like a little walk through a Silver Age and Bronze Age horror magazines. So, you had the famous Monsters of Filmland. That's really kind of where Warren comes in. There were some one-shots here and there, but that kind of tested the market a little bit for non-Comics Code Authority comic-related things, although that was mainly around films. A couple issues would have a comic strip or two in them. But really, it's when Creepy came out in 1964. This is number 7 right here with Frazetta cover art from 1966. Warren really established with their triumvirate of horror magazines the gold standard, I think, at that time for horror graphic literature. It's another Creepy. This is number 65 from 1974, Ken Kelly cover.
Sweet.
Buddy Saunders, Don McGregor, Archie Goodwin, Gardner Fox, Jim Stenstrom all writing. And another one, this is number 83 from 1976. That is a Frank Frazetta cover that was swiped from Creepy number 15, where it's a little bit bigger. Obviously, it didn't have the box art feel to it. Interior art, Russ Heath, John Severin, Bernie Wrightson, Jose Ortiz, Carmen Infantino. And then they started their oh yeah, Jackson. If we could have one of our blue wrenches put him in timeout. Then we had Eerie, the companion magazine. They started that up in 1966. Gray Morrow with the cover art. And they started in September of 65. This one's from 66. This is number 7 from 67, again with a Frazetta cover. I think this whole issue was written by Archie Goodwin, all the writing done. And then we got number 89 from 1978, Malcolm McNeil cover. Luis Bermejo, Gonzalo Mayo, Jose Ortiz, Leo Sanchez, all contributing artists in this issue. And then Vampirella was started up in 1969 with number 1. This is my favorite Vampy cover, number 6 from 1970. That is a Ken Kelly cover, except the woman's face. Jim Warren asked Frank Frazetta to redo her face. Why that is, I think, has been lost to history. I suspect it's because Kelly was an amazing horror artist, but not necessarily the most sincere creator of women's faces. And I think he wanted her to be a little bit softer. Vampirella number 31 from 1974. Again, a Frazetta cover. Jose Bea, Doug Mensch, Richard Corbin, Flaxman Lowe, all writers in that issue. And the last Vampy I'll show is number 63. Then Enrique Torres from 1977. He did the cover art. Bermejo, Ramon Torrance, Esteban Moroto, Rafael Arralion, all artists in here. I think this had mostly reprints in it. But Warren was kind of the bar setter for all of the other horror magazine publishers that kind of came after. That's kind of what they were aiming at. They had amazing cover art, incredible interior art, and after a little while, their writing started to get really good, and so that they were kind of the what everyone else was aiming at.
Fantastic stuff.
Very good.
All right. And now we will rush to Spinner Rack. I'll catch him off guard. It's all part of my plan.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
All right, this is the last show before Halloween, so this will be my last showing of my Halloween horror books. I'll start off with one that Micah probably likes.
Yep. I
By
love
the
it.
way, you can tell I'm in a different area. I'm in my comic book room right now. But anyway, there you go. There's Donald enjoying some snacks while Huey, Dewey, and Louie look on.
Better not slip on any bananas when he gets off that
Yeah,
comfy chair.
I thought the same thing. Here we have another Walt Disney book.
Cool.
Frisky Fables.
Nice.
Probably more by the Thanksgiving book coming up here, but there's a pumpkin. Moving to something a little bit more scary. This is Black Cat Mystery. This is issue 34.
Nice.
Great condition, too.
Guy's
Wow.
just putting his wife to bed there.
Yes.
Tucking her in.
Very helpful.
And of course, here's one of those great PC Twisted Tales. Probably a cover that's not very PC, but nonetheless.
That was Norman Rockwell, right?
And here's a Donald Duck Adventures.
Yeah.
And this is kind of Halloween moving into Christmas. We're going to be in that season here pretty quick. And here's a more recent, I think this is from Crime Suspense 22, maybe.
Yep.
Homage to that great comic book, Wolverine style. Dead of Night, #1.
Nice stuff.
Here's an issue of Ghosts with the Spectre on the cover.
Nice.
And a little space action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that alien's gonna get some action.
One of the Marvel, but from the early 70s. Let's see here. 71, yeah. Creatures on the Loose, #13.
Yeah, I used to shop at Kroger, you know.
Is that the book where they changed the character's name to Hank Pym? Because they did that at the time in the 70s. They changed some of if the character was blonde, they changed the character's name to Hank Pym so that people believe that was pre-superhero Pym.
That's great.
And then here's one for the Captain.
Ooh.
It's nice. I love that.
That just reminded me, there's a 25-year-old girl at work. I had to explain to her that her Sabrina, the Teenage Witch that she watched on Netflix, started out as a comic book. It's interesting talk today.
And then finally for this round, here is, oh wait, this isn't a Halloween comic book. This is Tomahawk number 88, I believe, first Silver Age appearance of Miss Liberty. And hold on, folks, I hear a noise. My wife's out for the evening. Let me check it out. Hold on.
Aha! I'm on the
Oh,
lookout
dear.
for comic book fossils, and I think I have found one. Prepare to be run through.
Get him
Holy
again.
cow,
Get him again.
folks, it's Miss Liberty. Look at that. Yourself in costume. Miss Liberty, please spare me. I'll give you the location of some of the fossils if you spare
Out
me.
with it, you old worthless fossil.
Well, there's Jambo and Eric Breen in there in the Kentucky area. Ratu Orloff, he's in Iowa, although he claims to be in Virginia, but don't be fooled. And then there's Graphic Man, he's in Missouri.
Yep.
Some guy by the name of Strange Life, you can believe that, and he's in Chicago. Heck, there's even a fossil out in Portugal.
Okay, you're spared, scumbag. My first stop's going to be to Missouri. I'm going to take care of that Graphic Man, that conniving sword. I'm sure. Off I go.
Holy cow. There she goes.
She must have learned those sword tricks from Zorro.
Wow. Wow. Well, Micah, you better go to somebody else. I'm kind of flustered.
Yeah. I'm a little shook up too. Huh? People know me and know my name. Now I'm scared. So. All right. Well, we will run to Howler Mouse. He will calm everything down.
Well, stick to the plan here. Oh, that was inspirational, man. The red, white, and blue floating around with the Zorro. Yeah, I mean, So we'll just start up. Terrible movie, but I had this poster in my living room during the 90s. Beautiful Tim Bradstreet art there. The City of Angels, the second one. Yeah. Iggy Pop on the cover. That's the only reason I went and saw the movie. Because I love the first one. It's great stuff there. And this cracks me up with the ghost. This is ghost number 1. And as you can see, it started out with true tales of the weird and supernatural. They are challenging you to read it. It says it right on the cover. You open this one up, and on the front cover, it's got Mark Twain, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and Abraham Lincoln, and it's talking why they all believed in ghosts. So I thought these might have been true ghost stories. So as you go on through the series, they keep challenging you to keep reading these true tales. And as the book goes along, all of a sudden they just say, "We just challenge you to read this." Right there, we challenge you just to read Ghost and go for it. Yeah. So I always thought that was that cracked me up. What do we have here? So we have some House of Mystery here. Cain and Abel are my absolute favorites, but as you can see, this I'm not quite sure how snappy this book was before they went full horror and stuff. But Dial H for Hero, and you got an insect army coming after you as you're like a very colorful toga party going on there. So they were groovy. And then we got to the good stuff here. I always thought these were like real Twilight Zone when I was a kid. A lot of these I've had since I was a kid. A lot of Neil Adams in there, and but like I said, Cain and Abel, my absolute favorite characters, even just as horror hosts. We get a reprint of in the 100-page specials of that great Bernie Wrightson cover, or in here. Yeah, and I was there at Heroes Con when Neil Adams was explaining why he used kids on the covers of horror books. That's how they got around the Comic Code Authority to make it seem, threatening and stuff. People would see kids in peril, and you could get by with that because it didn't really say too much about kids in the Comic Code Authority the way he was talking about it. But yeah, I'm always a sucker for those 100-page giants and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now. We'll do a little witching hour. I have more of these somewhere, and I could not find them. But the witching hour, this underrated of the horror books. This and Tales of Unexpected. Actually, some really good stories in these at that midnight hour. I think I have some with some Nick Cardy covers somewhere. We go into the House of Secrets. And I'll go ahead and tell you, when it comes to stories, I don't know what was going on, and maybe it's just my selection, but the House of Secrets actually had the more interesting stories. The other one was always like a bunch of kids rolling around.
Paulo, should I?
Yes.
Well, I was also.
Like
See,
Graphic has said, some of you will get that.
growing up, so they had stuff in here that I related to more, maybe, you know. Big hands coming out. Shark covers. I showed this in a video years ago, and a guy actually messaged me telling me how he collects the shark covers, and he was trying to offer me like $25 for this. So I would just send it to him. Yeah. And you know, this cover's a bit more brutal the more you look at it and stuff. First of all, the guy's in the bear trap, getting eaten alive while a old ghost, prospector just watches him. You know, just you don't even know if he sees the ghost and stuff, right? But that's kind of brutal, you know. And it's still got the Comics Code Authority on it. So I was like, all right. Oh. Let's see. Yeah. So we got a little Secrets of Haunted House.
Yes.
Going on there. Not a lot to say about these. I've had these forever. I've never got around to reading them. But there's a lot of demon, a lot of devils on there, a lot of paganism going on.
Yeah, the first few covers are dynamite.
Yeah. I've got those somewhere, you know. We started getting to the Mike Kaluta covers. Fantastic stuff. I could look at Mike Kaluta art. And I'm guessing this is the first appearance of Mr. E, who I never really heard of until Neil Gaiman did a Books of Magic miniseries in 1990, I think, or something. I thought the guy had been around a lot longer. And okay, here we go. Mystery suspense. We'll just go ahead and show like a little Charlton, the question there. Some good kind of stuff. And I'll just show a few more, and then I'll quit here. Get all the DC stuff out of the way. I'll try to stick around for another show in here, but the Madame Xanadu with a great Brian Boland art inside of it. There's a Brian Boland story in there, and that's of course a Mike Kaluta cover, I believe. Yeah. And Tales of the Unexpected. This was the one that was around the house the most for some reason. I don't know what the deal was. So yeah, there's a lot of these I went through. Clubhouse horror going on.
Yeah.
And my Phantom Strangers. I've got 3 or 4 more to put in this stack here. But this one, I've had this one since I was about 5. And Buford Gilbert, the guy that I got him from, I'm still friends with him. I'm like, he's.
Oh, that's great. After all this time, yeah.
Yeah, he put his name on there. I don't know if you can see it, but he's about 67 now, I think. Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm going to pop up on him pretty soon. Yeah. More than the devils and the children. I find the Phantom Stranger books as I've gotten older and stuff to be really hit and miss on quite a few of these. But yeah. And that's for round 1.
A lot of great skull covers and skeletons there.
Yeah. The great thing about the Bronze Age stuff, I think, is actually the more you look at it, the more you kind of pick up on things. There's a lot of readability in there, just with the artworks, even when the stories were a bit painful sometimes.
All right. Paulo, you want to send something over while we go to Gratu?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gratu.
All right. Got some digest magazines.
Wow.
Look at that.
Man.
I was going to show stuff I just got, but I just showed them on my channel, and there's no real point in showing. I don't know. So,
well, hello, tomfoolery. Go ahead, Gratu. Man.
Yeah, Robert Silverberg was a well-known name for doing those digest things.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a Marvel British thing. Black and white art.
Was that Mike? You felt that's Mike Golden on the cover, or real quick there?
It's Wyatt Check.
Ah, okay.
Where did I just see that? Somewhere.
Yeah, he was the
backwards. There it is.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, there's
Didn't know old Bob had it in him.
it's an old oldie but goodie from Stanley and his brother Larry Lieber. Let's see. This is some humor from the occupation of Japan right after World War II. Humor about GIs and meeting Japanese women. Let's see what is appropriate to show here. Let's see.
Oh, Fate magazine.
It's
Great cover.
white. Oh, there we go. Yes.
Oh, cool.
Amazing.
We got a Hannes Bach cover here. It's a wrap around, but you can't really do that with a book like this.
Yeah, we can see it though.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's nice.
They have ads for, what would you call that, a truss?
Some kind of back support.
The original science fiction stories.
Yeah.
Never seen any of these.
I've shown them before, I think, on the show. I know I'm recycling this. Maybe it was on my show, but it was a few years at least back.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's
look
cool.
at-
That's cool.
Man, you throw some tentacles on a face, and I'm just done. I'm like, that's too much for me.
Oh, real hand grenade. How about that?
Every time I see tentacles on a face, I think of Cthulhu.
Yeah,
Next time-
yeah.
Next time Zelensky comes, we'll just hand him this back cover.
There you go.
Here's where you can get them cheap. Let's see. Not to be controversial or anything, because of course
What that?
it's very good to send billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is pretty good. It's kind of like a Robbie the Robot's cousin,
Yeah.
playing that guy.
An evil.
Very similar design. What year is this from? October of 57. So it's right about the time that movie was out, Forbidden Planet. Well, look, first murder on the moon. Be an eyewitness.
Didn't take long, did it?
No. Here's adaptation of 20 Million Miles to Earth.
Oh, that's,
Great
That's
cover.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the only good things about StreamYard is you can get really good close-ups.
Yeah.
This would be good for time travel comics to
Yeah.
alter this
Dang.
ad, promote his YouTube channel. Okay, I'm almost done. Don't worry. Magic
No,
Land of
these are great.
Mescaline, January 56.
That one's for the birds.
Yes, the magical world of mescaline. And some UFO ones. everyone has psychic powers. Oh, and the Rosicrucians, they always advertised in these old pulps and digest. Secrets
Fate
entrusted
magazine
to the few,
special.
the unpublished facts of life. And I have seen zombies. Let's see, got a couple more. Let's see.
I see zombies when I wake up in the morning with a hangover.
Satanic. There was a bunch of these that I can't show, but this one is PG. Most of these, like Lucifer and stuff like that, they're like Warren magazines times 100.
Where they show nudity?
Yeah, on the cover.
Oh.
Yes, they're completely, yeah, you know what they're like. They're just not appropriate for this family program. Criminal. Il fumetto del terrore. This one's a cool cover.
Criminal.
Oh, wow.
Super giallo. These ones that are the more mainstream ones, like this one and Diabolic and all those, are more clean. This is a great cover. This is one of the all-time great covers.
That looks like Lord Deathman or something out of the Batman anime.
Here's a drug cover.
Anime manga. Yeah, drug cover.
Droga.
Anatomy of a Murder.
These would all make great campaign posters. If you're running for president, you just put your name.
So that feels like it'd be like some drug third world country where their main export is cocaine or something. That looks like what they're.
Put Ron DeSantis, or what's the name of the woman that the CNN wants to be president because she likes war? What's her Nikki Haley? Just Nikki Haley, 2024. Or Ron DeSantis for a better tomorrow. Okay. Donald Trump would never have ads like that.
No.
Those people, there's no telling. Okay, that's it for this time.
Okay. Well, our foreign correspondent has fallen off the planet, so
shoot.
While we're waiting for him to join us again, Eric, we are heading your way.
All right. If you all saw Jambo's video Sunday, the centerpiece of that video is he upgraded his Hulk annual #1. And this is the old one.
Oh.
He was kind enough to send me because it's one of my favorite covers of all time.
Very nice. It is a great cover.
Yeah.
Iconic.
I wish you were here to thank again in person, but I said, Jambo, thank you again. This is awesome.
Wow.
Now, since I'm not smart enough to prepare for like it being Halloween or anything, this is just a normal batch of.
Oh, that's great. I mean, come on.
I mean, there's Micah asked for a closer look.
I wonder who that is. Who does the cover? I wonder.
Some guy that doesn't get nearly the recognition he should. Seldom mentioned on this channel. Here's the second appearance of Bullseye.
Oh, nice shirt, Breen, by the way. Yeah, nice. Okay.
I wish Pixel were here to thank you in his Joker voice. There's Donald Duck, #62.
Playing basketball with the globe.
Is issue 133.
Cut my teeth on them Beagle Boys.
I know I showed this the other week, but it's worth showing again since it is Halloween adjacent.
That's great.
Let's see. Here's everything Archie.
Yeah, I miss the old Archie.
War and Attack.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I was just thinking the same thing. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
They never put their strap on correctly with their helmets. It drives me nuts.
This was the Flash that I bought. This was like this first or the second week that I was buying new books back in late '75. Here's some 4 colors. Damn it, I forgot to write the number down. Oh, wait a minute. No, it should be on the front. Yeah, 329.
Sounds right.
Nice painted cover.
And either 407 or 487. I can't remember. I can't read.
Hey, I think I got that cover. With his ear sticking out of the cap like that.
Do they still have a French Foreign Legion? That was always a joke in all these movies. Does it still exist?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't even know what they did.
I think they do still have it.
Go-Go and
Whenever
Animal.
France wanted to get involved, didn't want to commit their own troops.
That's
when they would use the Foreign Legion.
Okay.
Hello, poor Mike.
Oh, Herbie. The Fat Fury.
There's got to be a trade of those. I'm going to have to look that up.
There are 3 hardcovers.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny Thunder #1. And his dad still hasn't figured out what he does when he's not teaching school. Here's Jughead 62.
The problem with Herbie hardcovers is the ads in those ACG books from that time period were all priceless, and you won't get the ads, I don't think, in the.
I think in these you do. I think they're
PS Art books, maybe.
Or Dark Horse. I think Dark Horse did it also.
All right, cool then.
I'm not 100% sure because when I had access to them, I didn't care. Now that I'd love to have them, I never see them.
Yeah.
Issue 94.
I knew her. Yeah. So
I'll post any comment. It looks like.
Yeah, this is for Captain Stress a lot. They're a little tender romance for him.
Oh,
That'll calm me down.
Yeah. Some of you fellas probably remember what it was like to be just married. Love Diary.
Yeah, the beach. The glorious beach.
This was the book that finished. I've finished Marvel Team Up.
Looks like Ant-Man's about to be finished there.
I think I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, but then again, with our memories, who knows? Marvel Triple Action #16, reprinting Avengers 21.
Yep.
Is #20. Oh, I see some phenomenal cover art again.
2008, 2009.
Sterenko? Oh, okay.
Well, that would be okay also, but this.
I wonder what happened there. I wonder who.
Need more Sterenko.
Mike Shane, #1.
I never heard of that.
This is a gift from Englentine for the help I provide on Saturday nights. These I know I showed a couple weeks ago, but
That's what they're calling it? Okay.
Ooh,
what,
that's
Saturday
nice.
nights?
Yeah, so that's what they're calling it now?
That's
Nice king size.
knock it
Queen
off,
size.
host.
Screen size.
You can be replaced. Millie 139. And modeling with Millie #50.
Ooh, I'd like to model with her.
And that will do it for round 1.
Okay, well, good news. Paulo has joined us again.
You had to restart the computer.
Yeah.
Before I show these, I just want to show a couple of things I bought at the festival.
Oh wow!
Sort of horror themed.
I'm gonna try here to undo it. Nope, that didn't work.
Nope, that didn't work. I have to stop sharing. No, okay.
No. Okay.
Okay. Adaptation of Macbeth. This is a double album. Came out as 2 albums in France by Thomas Day and Guillaume Sorel. It's Macbeth retold from the perspective of Lady Macbeth. And Frankenstein by Georges Best. This is the follow-up to his Dracula adaptation. This is a direct adaptation from the novel, so never before seen style for a Frankenstein story.
Huh.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got more of these prepared, but these are 300 pages and it take him 2 years to produce.
Oh wow, that is a labor of love.
All right, so because it's Halloween, covers by the Brazilian master of horror comic book covers. Although he ended up doing a lot of stuff in different styles. So before showing the horror, historical fiction, he also did the inside art. This is an adaptation of Ben-Hur.
That's a beautiful art, man. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Wow.
And Cleopatra. He did about 15 to 20 stories in this magazine. This came out in the mid 60s in Brazil. Also, his brief dalliance with superheroes, Captain Seven. Here's another one.
Wow, that's good.
Really looks great. And finally, horror. This is from a mid 60s magazine. Contos de Terror, Tales of Terror.
Nice one. Another nice one.
I love this one. A different anthology. This is from the late 50s.
I wonder what the interior art is like on these books.
Much of this is made in Brazil, and you'll find the Jaime Cortez did the stories on a few of them.
Can you see the interior anywhere on the internet?
No, I'm sorry. They're pretty hard to find, and nobody did any scans.
Huh.
Wow, that's, man, look at
that. Here from a brief, short-lived science fiction magazine.
So that title, that's not Mr. Nine. It's Mystery X.
It's Mr. X.
Okay, Mr. X. All right.
Captain Radar. Not a very good one. It also didn't last very long.
Looks good.
I've got so many questions. Like, is it a robot body with a human head, or?
I don't know, but I'd like to be on her radar.
Another anthology.
Hey-oh.
Dracula is the main character on all of these. And to show how versatile he was, Abbott and Costello, cover made in Brazil.
He looks like he's got a pair of boobs all the way up there by his neck. Doesn't it?
It's the shoulder and pecs.
I know. It's a shoulder.
I think you're seeing what you want to see.
Pain pill, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Hopalong Cassidy.
Alex Toth like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're making sure that it's closer to the story inside. This time the comics do come from the U.S., but they had to have locally produced material, so that's usually the cover. The funny animal title, Cacareco.
There's one big boob for the captain there if you look at it just right.
Oh dear.
Cacareco. Cacarec.
And below the monkey's nose is a rear end.
Oh,
I know the artist
cacarectum.
intended to do it.
Maybe that's what they meant, cacarectum.
And there's bondage if you look really carefully. Frederick Wortham, worst nightmare.
Cacarectum.
You need to send it off to CGC immediately.
Yes.
Oh wow.
This is
That-
a cool cover. Look at this,
Yeah,
man.
I love that one.
This
Did I-
was more recent. This was from the 80s.
That reminds me of the Classics
Bat.
Illustrated Frankenstein cover, but it didn't have the bat coming down. The bat.
It reminds me of Bat Lady, I think. I'm trying to think and that's Black Terror in English, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great cover, man.
Yeah.
Great art. Oh man, I have to get that.
Are these Brazilian books on eBay? Is there any way to get these books?
There are a few guys who are specialized in finding these books and sending them to American collectors.
Yeah, that's where I was buying them from this guy in Brazil. All the ones that I got. What was that one again? The previous one, just that you just showed. Yeah.
Cacareco.
No, the one
want-
after that.
No, the one with the spider web. Yeah.
Terror Negro, yes.
Okay, I gotta look for that.
Yeah, that would get you, man. I mean, it's one thing to have a spider, but something that spins a web and has a Hellgrammite head, and that's just that.
I love covers like that. Spiders in the web.
Okay. That's enough of scaring Morania. Some more Dracula. I found this cover very interesting.
It's very 80s, and I don't know if that's intentional.
Because this cover was not made in the 80s.
Yeah.
Inspired by Kane?
Yeah. It's got the angle. The
Also
nose
Brief
kind of looks
Valiant.
like a skull if you go back.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Notice that? It's
Yeah.
like a sad skull.
Yeah. Brief dalliance with Western comics. Not very original. It kind of looks like Two Gun Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Sinbad. Sinbad. This is more like a kid's story version of Sinbad. This came out in the 70s. And something that he did shortly before he died in the mid 80s, Zodíaco. It's a one-shot graphic novel. And another one that another personal story from the 60s, adapting the Phantom of the Opera.
Nice.
Jaime Cortez. He was a very prolific cover artist. He was born in Portugal, but he immigrated to Brazil when he was 19 years old. He still had some stories published in Portugal when he was a teenager, but then he moved to Brazil. He got Brazilian nationality, worked all over, even did a few newspaper cartoons, and unfortunately, he died only aged 60 in 1987.
So sad.
We had an exhibit with his heart over here 5 or 6 years ago.
An exhibit with his heart.
With his art.
Thank you. All right. I was
No.
like, wow.
No. We do have an exhibit of a heart, but that's for King Peter II. His heart is being exhibited in a museum in Porto.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, thank you so much, Paulo. I could go next, but I know Captain was in a hurry. Did you want to get out of here?
I got just 4 books I can show, 4 other books, and then I gotta go after that.
All right, and then we'll head to Bill and then Spinner Rack.
I guess I'll get the Breening out of the way.
Nice.
60 centers. I love these 100 pages as well.
Yes. That I do not have. I have that one somewhere.
This is kind of creepy, you know. It's these kids are, I assume, you know, it's Christmas time, you know, and they're going to get their presents, and they're all torn up, and there's a demon ghoul waiting for them, tear them apart.
I think it's a Swedish monster. I have that. Yes, that's a great one. Yes.
Yeah. Claws of Death. And then, hey, you know, just off topic here. I was at the Hobby Lobby the other day, and I'm looking for some Halloween stuff, and they said, "Oh, we don't sell Halloween stuff here." I knew it was a Christian-based, you know, store chain, but I had no idea that they banned Halloween stuff. And the manager was telling me it's too pagan. And I said, "Well, what do you think Christmas is?" I was telling him Christmas is based in paganism, you know, the way that we celebrate it here, and not, you know, the real way to celebrate Christmas. We celebrate it like it's a pagan holiday that came from Germany. And then, so that was kind of weird. Then they have Easter stuff, which is completely, you know, like a pagan holiday.
Did you ever travel to the parts of the South, Captain? Ever?
Yeah, I did, but
yeah, that's you'd get used to that after a while. Yeah, yeah, a lot of that down here.
Wow, man, I was just kind of shocked, man. I had no idea that Hobby Lobby just didn't just ban Halloween stuff. It's crazy. Anyway, that's all what I got there. Thanks for letting me show the stuff.
Sure. All right, Bill, you ready to go again?
Sure.
I got to bow out, so I'll see you guys, okay?
All right, Captain. See
All
ya.
right. See ya.
Yeah.
Take care.
Captain, before you go, can you send me one of those pre-code horrors for best costume of the night?
Horror, the best costume of the night. Do you have one?
It's Liberty, absolutely.
Yeah, his guest. Yeah.
Oh man, I hope I can get a hold of what's his name, PBR Street Gang. So, because I want to send his stuff and I don't have his address. So, anybody who gets a hold of him somehow, let me know.
All right.
All right. Thanks. Take care, guys.
Great to see you, Captain.
Bye.
See you, Captain.
See you, Cap.
Okay, Bill, here you go.
All right. Let's continue our horrific journey. So one of the companies that was inspired by Warren was Skywald, right? Saul Brodsky, Israel Waldman. And they had 3 horror magazines. The first one was Nightmare. I don't have any issues of Nightmare, but that started in late 1970. Scream. Actually, I do have Nightmare, this one, but I don't have any issues of Scream. That one's August of 73. But this is Nightmare Annual. Vicente Segreus cover art. This is from 1972.
I just bought a Vicente Segrella's book.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's amazing. Love it. Interior art, Viamonte, Fred Carrillo, Bruce Jones. So they were really good, right? I would say that they were like the next level, at least initially, below Warren. At the very beginning, they had quite a few reprints, but then they started getting into more original stories, and then it was all original. But their cover art was always good. Here's Psycho. First issue of Psycho was 1971. This one's from 73. This is number 15. And this is the Segreus cover as well. But their cover art was really good, and their interior art kept on improving. Their story writing got better and better, to where I thought, at least in my opinion, at the end, they were just as good or nearly as good as some of the Warren mags. Problem is, horror got really hot in the late 60s, and then it just imploded in the mid to late 70s. Got hot again, I guess, in the 80s, especially for cinema. But not too many companies survived the horror implosion of the mid 60s. This is from 1974, number 16. Domingo Gomez cover. Doug Mensch, Hewitson, Augustine Funnel, some of the writers. And This is a Psycho Annual from 1972, the year of Comic Mag Musings' birth. Alberto Pujolar with the cover art, Pablo Marcos, who obviously did a lot of work for Marvel as well, Steve Hickman, Cueto. So that's the second company that that I'll detail, and I'll move on to another company the next one.
All
1972. 1972, you're just a youngster.
Not wet anymore, though.
All right, Spinner, did you want to go now or wait a minute?
I can go.
Okay.
All right. Just quick, a little quick background on the costume that YV was wearing. So a lot of you know we belong to a vintage antique national Christmas group, and we have a convention every year, and it hops to different cities. This year was in Washington, D.C., and it always has some kind of theme. You can probably guess this year the theme was Patriotic Christmas. And so YV, and they usually have some kind of dress up night. So YV was saying, I want to dress up as a patriotic character. Can you think of anybody? And I don't know how, but immediately that character, Miss Liberty, came to mind. So I printed off the internet some of the photos of her, pictures of her, and so YB made that costume, except for the hat and like the eye thing. She made pretty much everything of that costume. So anyway,
Nice.
That was wonderful.
Frankenstein, number 14, a monster fighting a monster. And Captain left, but hot stuff's always good for Halloween. Let's see here. Little famous funnies. This is issue 159 from 47. And Archie, of course, is always great for Halloween covers. This is the Witching Hour issue number 19. I think this is Cardi cover probably. Or although
I think it is the way he draws witches is really distinctive.
Like, it really is.
He is the witch man, yeah.
And just love that cover though, with the witch kind of creeping around the side of the building.
And then Margaret hanging out the window.
Invisible Man number 2.
Oh, wait, I think I have that.
And here we have Wendy the Good Witch riding on a vacuum cleaner. Somebody was showing this on one of the videos, 3D House of, maybe it was Night Tiger. Or
No, it was Horror Mike was showing it, and he said he says it's a really horrible cover. And I was thinking, Captain Strangelove says, no, that cover's great. I didn't speak up, but I think that cover's fantastic.
Yeah, the logo.
I didn't really want to argue with him on the show, but he was saying this is just a terrible ass cover. And it's like, what?
I think
That's
amazing. I think the trait dress up here maybe isn't the best, but yeah,
it's a great logo.
I think they should have made it like a postcard, like that, like that's some kind of resort, and the logo should look like a logo for a resort, like make it look like a postcard you would buy there. That's what I would go with.
Yeah, I think it works. It makes you want to go buy it and see what's inside that place.
That's
I've been in love with that cover since I saw it in the price guide in the 70s. I just think, man, I wish I had.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that owns it hates it.
Here's Casper, a little trick or treat action.
A lot of identity theft there too. Wow, look at all that.
Yeah.
That was the free pattern on Pinterest that week for that
Yeah.
holiday. Yeah.
And some great Halloween scenery there.
So he's got
That-
roller skates.
That looked like a witch from the Witching Hour and that horror host from Charlton. Oh my God, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, done in a little bit more of a cartoony style. Here's a recent book, and I just picked this up because of the cover. I thought it was pretty cool. Some kids out trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
It's Birds of Prey.
Oh, Big Barda and a Wildcat. They got Zealot. Oh wow.
A little bit of more hot stuff. This is issue 55 from 72.
See, you know you've read comics too long when you're sitting there going, you're using fire against a dragon. Come on now, you know.
Yeah. And
Wow.
That's
here's a
great.
little-
Oh wow, that's
this is
fantastic.
issue. I'm sorry, I keep 23.
That is fantastic. Yeah.
These are great, Dave.
And let's see. Got to throw in a little bit of Dragula.
Mm.
I'm gonna, after the season's done, I'm gonna kind of go through some of these values and maybe probably pop some of these things open. Miss, I don't know if you heard Miss Liberty down there say no.
I've never thought of these as seasonal books. To me, I guess I'm warped. I just think this is all year stuff for me, but I guess, not the
I
summer.
like to change the entire, comic book racks out for the season.
That's
Yeah,
a
but
great
I'd
cover.
consider monsters not to be just Halloween.
No.
Is it just me? I don't know.
Well, keep in mind, I'm not really a monster collector like you are, Gratu.
Well, you got more than I've got.
Um,
There we go.
Here's Superman that's got some Halloween flair to
Nice.
it.
That's the doors to the White House.
And a few more and I'll be done here.
Morbius.
That's a nice cover.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little Archie Madhouse.
Wow.
That's good.
Look at
I
that
love
border.
the guys on the side.
Yeah.
It's really great. And then let's see, 3 more here real quick. This is issue 571 of Archie Giant series. Hot stuff. And then finally, I'll end with, one other thing I'll show you real quick. Frankenstein Monster, number 18.
See, that's my Frankenstein with the Sonny Bono caveman vest. That's,
Yeah.
that's mine.
And then real
That
quick,
smart looking vest.
what I was saying to Gratu about how I convert the spinner racks and all. So there is the
all you
rack.
see.
And this is my so-called reader rack, and you guys have seen it before. I put kids books like Archie's and stuff like that. Richie Rich is in it, and here it is for Halloween. And they're all readers. They're not in bags, and no, those are not original ECs, obviously.
I was just chuckling at the one on the very bottom on a rack for children where he's got the razor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Halloween time. It is not a rack for children.
Yeah, is that a Gladstone? Because that's originally a crime suspense title with that image.
And anyway, so here's the comic book room. It's a little
Disney
bit
always
disarrayed.
messes stuff up.
So, all righty.
Fantastic stuff. I want to slip in real quick, and then we'll go to Howler. So, first off, Dave, I thought I'd just get some breeding out of the way.
Hey, there we go.
And you guys are showing some really
no.
creepy things. So,
Uh-huh.
It's like a New York City phone book.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. The exploitation on that cover was fantastic.
And for Bill, here's some Nightmare.
Nice.
Are these the old ones or the new ones from Barnes and Noble?
No, this is the old Guandonoland, the old
All right.
before Barnes and Noble. Yeah. Okay, I was hoping Charlton 66 would be here. I wanted him to see Attack.
But not War and Attack.
No, just simple Attack.
Someone should put out one that just kill with an exclamation point. Kill and destroy.
Kill and Attack.
Yeah.
Right.
Kill and mutilate.
Doing a little change up. Wanted to go through the super villains. This is the only one I've read.
That's a pretty twist. I've never seen that cover. That's pretty twisted.
Yeah, I thought I would give these a shot. So here's number 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Gratu, that's a takeoff from a Blackhawks cover where they show the Justice League getting thrown into a garbage can.
And I know Gratu has a number 3 because I sent him one.
I had no idea you guys were into this. We could have been talking a lot, before.
Well, I don't know. I've only read the first one, so I mean they look anything with this, a big gorilla. Now here's an interesting guy here, the Black Racer.
That is like one of 2 Kirby creations I just cannot get into.
Don't look Zach.
Look for his movie any day now. Black Racer movie.
You never can tell with James Gunn.
Sinestro.
Wait till you get to the Crime Syndicate stuff. That's the stuff.
Was it in this run?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got Superman on the cover. He, of course, he can't handle magic, so when he shows up, just pull out a deck of cards and you will have him powerless. Here's another good Grog cover. They sure look interesting. When I grew up, I was such a Marvel guy or a funny animal.
I'm not saying they're written well. I'm just saying they're interesting. Yeah.
They're perfect 70s time capsules.
Yeah.
And I was at the right age that I begged my parents, why can't we go see them on water skis? I thought that would be great. But, I was told it's too far away and all that.
Yeah.
You
And
can
then we
see
got
that on YouTube, film footage of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the heroes are all barefoot.
Oh, well. And I don't know how many issues it ran. So here is 12.
15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
And a special.
Then I almost have them. So here's 13.
There we go. I think that's the Crime Syndicate's first appearance in '63, and then that led into them coming back in Justice League 207. Yeah.
The Crime Syndicate was 166, 7, and 8.
On the
the 207 is that crossover with the All-Star Squadron.
Yeah, that's where they popped up. Yeah.
So that's 14. I guess I might have 15. I guess I have the whole run.
Oh, wow.
Doing better than I thought.
Oh, Jason Woodrue there. Yeah.
Now, I have 2 specialty issues. So, Eric, I'm guessing this would be the annual because they call it a special.
It was part of the DC Special series because DC was just weird in those days. So it's not an official annual for it, but it's just, like I said, it's.
See, I liked how if you were evil, you just had to have a mustache that you could twist, like Angleman had there. That's the only way you would know he was a villain.
And then they make an appearance in Secret Origins.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm trying to be thorough. There's probably 10 more issues I'm missing. But so there you go. That was my little try to run at Supervillain. So okay, we up to Howler now, or
Sure. Yeah, but
All right.
I got to get ready to take a shower and get up for work. Anyway, I had to throw these in. Apparently, the 90s was really interesting for reprinting EC Comics because they reprinted this one in 91. And to me, this is like the best horror stuff in comics by far. I don't think this stuff's ever really been topped, despite, being able to get more with the times and gory and stuff like that. But I mean, think about it. This was the 50s. And you have get my finger out of the way. If you can make that out, that's a hand. You can see it sitting there. Its fingers are on the ground. And when you go up, the wrist ends up being the body of a monster. I mean, this was the 50s. This is just, the stuff I love,
Graham Ingles cover. Yeah, Russ Cochran did the reprints in the 90s.
There we go. And then we get up to 1997, and they're still going, apparently, and some Jack Davis reprints and stuff. And I had a ton of this stuff, but I just picked 2 or 3 out here to show on there. And then some of these are a mix of some actually the 3 packs I bought as a kid in here somewhere, but a little Boris Karloff, just Dr. Spectre. It is what it is, but the 70s stuff with the painted covers and everything just has a texture that you talk about a time capsule, like, getting Breen there. And then the Ripley stuff, I read these and there's certain times I have Jack Palance's voice going through my head, if you know what I'm talking about there.
believe it.
And then as a kid in the late 70s, there was Fangora magazines and Monster magazines. And it's where I discovered like Italian movie zombies where they would smear oatmeal on them to have the texture of like rotting flesh. That's the stuff that I would see and have to go to like take a shower and just felt the texture and stuff. I was watching Omen and Salem's Lot and stuff on Showtime back then. Didn't really bother me, but you show me some of that stuff. Or you could just show me some Charlton comic horror stuff. It was the same effect. That's where I was going with this. So we got a bunch of, I hope these are showing up, but Charlton 66, probably about 10 years ago, got me turned back. He turned me on to the horror stuff to give Charlton comics a chance. About all I had was like, if it was Ditko, I may have had some around there, some doubles and stuff. But, as I've gotten older and refined my taste and everything like that, this stuff is just like great grindhouse stuff. Like, the way they printed them and then the textures they would draw on these, you didn't get these at the other two, that I've run across, And then, of course, like I said, about the only Charlton stuff I'll give it a chance would be the Ditko stuff. So, but all the haunted stuff, classic cover. I've got 2 or 3 that I got put downstairs of this series, some painted covers that I'm going to be framing. So they're not all here, but some of the stuff is just like, it's got that grindhouse feel with their horror. So I didn't realize I had this many. So but like the painted covers all day long, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Tom Sutton in here if I had to guess. Get that glare off there. Might be time to rebag these. But there's the Mer ladies, because Ghost Manor.
Hello, good doctor.
Yeah. The Steve Ditko Centaur. We all need one of those. I'm surprised that's not like tattooed on more sailors.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, you go through these, and some of these are just iconic. You can actually like slow down and really take them in sometimes. And now I always thought this was a John Byrne. I had this one as a kid. It was the Stepdads. That's a Joe Staton. I'm like, I always thought this was John Byrne, hoping it had like a Raj 3000 in there. Some great werewolf stuff. Here we go. And this is the book I did not know I had until tonight. I don't know where this came from, but I love the whole porch swing with the monster that's escaped because it has you can tell it has, it's been chained to a wall with the bracelets there.
Wow.
And I'm going to be reading this one this weekend. I didn't even know I had this one, so that's always fun to find out. Oh, and like I said, I've probably about a third of these I can remember some stories in them, and they were so much better than I remember. They're more direct. They like get right to the point. Not a lot of subtlety there, subtext, not a lot there. A lot of morality stories like those old EC comics where a lot of people get theirs in the end,
Well, you got a good run here.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I've been working my way through these, actually trying to read them here and there. It's all about having the time. Here we go. I remember this one having a really great story. Ghostly Tales number 112. Something about this one, it makes me, sticks out. And we'll just kind of end it there. I didn't realize I brought that many. I just kind of got the stack and brought it up. So, and I want to throw out there, I don't know if you remember the last time I was on, but I brought up the fact that I found some Dean Martin spy movies on Tubi.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Welsh, Matt
Helm.
Okay, I watched The Silencer, which was the first one. Fantastic. Stella Stevens as a redhead was a treat. And then we went ahead and started watching Murderer's Row, the second one. It's got Anne Margaret in it. Oh man, that was rough. So some people in the comments were saying they're not that good. Some people were like they're great and stuff. It's a mix. That second one was rough. That first one was classic. I don't know if I'll have time to watch the last two. They're leaving Tubi this month, and there's two more to watch. So I just figured, I was like, yeah, everybody was right and wrong. Nobody was right. Nobody was wrong. The first one was great. The second one was rough. Yeah. So, I was like, oh my God.
They're all fantastic. That's where I vote.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, this is fresh eyes. You know what I mean? It's just fresh eyes. That's all I'm saying, Shoot.
You're not done, are you? I mean, when Howler showed up before we went on the air, he showed something and I kind of made fun of it. And I'm afraid that made him gun shy. So,
well, I was being respectful and stuff, but I like my vampires. Okay. In this house, vampires are big. We're talking Bela Lugosi. We're talking the Spanish one. I'm talking about Hammer horror films where, what was it? Dracula 1972, the blood that horror films had in there got us. We got the Lost Boys, Next of Kin, all this stuff. And then there's a little TV show based on Sookie Stackhouse tales, and they turned it into True Blood. And this is a Rolling Stone cover when the show was kind of big. I mean, it's Halloween. I bought this for my wife. I introduced her to True Blood about 5 years ago. I had all the DVDs and then they, and all that stuff. And it changed her. She would watch it and it changed her. She was walking around saying things like Bill Compton, King of Louisiana, referring to these people like she knew them. And in real life, Sookie got with this actor and they had kids, but he was a Civil War vampire that was in love with her. But his boss was this 1,000-year-old Viking vampire. So, yeah, this is just weird all the way around. So,
well, if Jackson's any indication, vampires aren't nearly the worst thing that's in Louisiana. I can tell you that much.
I'd rather watch Anne Margaret and Dean Martin any day than that, personally. But
I don't know. That's Sookie.
I saw True Blood one time, man. Ugh, I felt like I needed to take a shower afterwards.
I think there's 14 books or something like that. I'm on book 10. And
wow.
The first 3 or 4 are gold. I mean, they're actually pretty good. The first season of True Blood on HBO followed the book, and then that's it. It just went on, became its own thing, and it gets more painful with each series. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not a hardcore fan, you're not going to make it to the end.
The people that really hated the Matt Helm movies were the people that read the novels, which are straight ahead adventures, like Ian Fleming, practically. And then they turned into Dean Martin insane musicals. There
were jokes. There we go, Matt Hills. But what got me is if you watch the movies in the second one, everybody's smoking and drinking constantly. Like they're just walking around a hotel and look, there's a bar.
What's wrong with that?
It's Dean Martin. It's Anne Margaret.
My favorite part though that I laughed and I was like, you guys would get it, but Frank Sinatra came on the radio when he was in the car with Stella.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, turn that off. He's awful." And when they turned the station, it was Dean Martin singing. He's like, that's the good stuff, you know. And I like that humor, so I like meta,
Have you seen the one? I can't remember which one it is, where Carl Malden has the gun, where he takes the gun away from him that shoots backwards after 10 seconds.
Whatever way you pull the trigger, That's why I loved how that's why I thought the first one was good. To get the movie to the end, everybody, like 6 people, shot themselves in a row. So.
Have you seen the Flint movies?
Yes. Well, I saw those in the 80s, when I was in high school. I loved them. I mean, I got it, I like the camp feel, the 60s, the Technicolor, the beach movies. I was into that stuff. But I haven't watched them since. But yeah, the Flint, when oh my God, Austin Powers came out, I knew exactly where he got his stuff. It was not James Bond. It was Flint.
So Ken and a friend of mine have that ringtone from the Flint movies.
Nice.
First time, my friend had. That's where I heard it first. And then when I'm watching one of your videos, Ken, I hear your phone go off, and he was at my house when I was showing him your channel. That was just like, this is great.
Well, I'll say this: at Woody's home video in the 80s, it would be Spinal Tap, Flint, and like Lost Boys or something like that. That's how I snuck him in and watching stuff. Everybody would watch the big bad horror movies, and then I'd get up the next morning and throw in my 60s stuff. So yeah, good times.
Okay.
Good times.
Paulo, did you have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Okay, Gratu, then Eric, and then Bill wanted a third round. So,
all right.
Oh man, I gotta go. Have a good night, guys.
Okay.
Hey, Tim.
See ya.
I just pulled some books from over here. It's Halloween costumes and other treats. So it's just lots of pictures of what is it? Oh, look, it's an Uncle Creepy costume. And there's Thor.
Goodness.
More comic accurate than the movies.
Probably.
There's Green Hornet. This is a great book. I don't remember where I got it. Probably half price books. Every page is stuff that, I always loved Halloween, but I couldn't stand Halloween night when I had to put these masks on and this horrible, it just was horrible wearing this and having to go out and ring people's doorbells. I didn't find that fun at all, but I liked all the decorations and all of that. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. What did I just say? Where did it go? I probably remember Buck Rogers, Tweaky. I wonder
my
all these
goodness.
people that see boobs everywhere will see in his head there.
Yeah. All right.
That was the most annoying robot. I love Mel Blanc, but I couldn't stand that character, that voice. There's the Batman costume. At least you can breathe wearing some. At least Batman could breathe. It's the thing when you put on masks, you realize it would be terrible to be Spider-Man and have to breathe. Well, we all learned during the pandemic how horrible it is. You want to be a superhero that can breathe. The only problem is the Lone Ranger. He was the Lone Ranger, but he'd also put on other disguises, right? He dressed like an old man or whatever. But if you wear that mask and you're riding through the desert, I mean, you're gonna look like a raccoon with this tan face and then this white around your eyes. Same thing with Batman. I mean, I know nowadays he only comes out at night, but Batman traditionally was out all times of the day, and half his face, this billionaire going to functions and half his face is tanned, half isn't. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this is if you want to look this up, it's from Stuart Schneider and Bruce Zalkin. What else? I have nothing planned. I'm too lazy to go downstairs and get the books that I just got from Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. But it must have been terrible because I lost 3 subscribers since last night. So it's either the politics or they're just really crummy books that I was selling. Let's see.
Beware of Arizona.
Mesa, Arizona. Yes, Kevin Johnson. What is this? Oh my gosh, I don't know if this is appropriate to show. This is Super West. This artist, I'm sure Paulo can tell us about him, does not draw very appropriate comics, but the cover's okay to show. Let me see here. I don't want to open up to. No, my gosh, no. No, you can't show any of this. It's funny animal gore, horrible things that we can't show here or on any channel. Let's see. Here's Mondo Macabro. I better make sure I'm not showing anything bad. Weird and wonderful cinema around the world with characters like I showed on the last round of their film versions. Oh, man. Yep, a lot of inappropriate stuff in here, too. Well, it's just, but stuff I guess I can show. So, what else is interesting here? This is probably one of the worst covers, but Jack Kirby's Heroes and Villains, just a black cover. It's like that Spinal Tap record, right? But it's all this Kirby art, which if you're creative enough, you could turn into coloring sheets and give to children to color, just make copies from this. It's like, but it's like perfectly suited to creating coloring pages because it's all black and white, but it's just a very uninspiring cover. I don't know why they chose to do that. Oh, well. Ours is not to why. Here's
Ours is to commit war and attack.
Right. Attack and kill and maim. This is part of the nostalgia boom of the late 60s, early 70s, when all the, everyone that grew up in the 30s was in their 40s or 50s and were nostalgic about their youth. So that, they had all this. So there's Alex Raymond that influenced everybody. This is where all the comic art comes from. Everybody in the golden age was imitating Alex Raymond. And so Flash Gordon, what is it? Coletta must have a hand in that Kirby cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
He erased the character.
That's good.
Here's how they. If you need to get your vehicle towed on Mongo, that's how they do it. So that's that. Let me see. Whoa, shoot! I got stuff on top of the books. We're all supplied for the upcoming World War III apocalypse. We've got gummy hot dogs. Have you seen these? We got gummy bacon. Or is it here? Yeah, I think so. Look at this. You got to get stocked up because you never can tell what's going to happen.
When you can't get the real thing, why not?
Yeah, well, you're not going to be able to get the real thing because there's going to be an apocalypse. They say that probably what they're going to do is just shut down the internet. That's going to be it's something.
That'll do
I probably shouldn't talk about this, but if you look at your phone, something horrible is going on in Maine right now. We'll talk about it later.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're already trying to distract us with this horrible shooting going on this evening. Buck Rogers, also part of that same from Galahad Books, New York City. Introduction by Ray Bradbury. These books are great. The one I've got to get, though, part of this nostalgia boom of the early 70s is that horror comics of the 1950s one that had the EC reprints from 1972. That's the one that people seek after. I remember in 1979 this comic store opened about a mile from me when I was like 14, and they had that book, but they wanted $25, and that in 1979 might as well be ridiculous. There's no way I could have done that. Wish I had done that though, because now the dust jacket all torn up. It cost at least $100, not more. Okay, well, this is just, I'll show you one more book. This is just, I'm just BSing at this point. Blast Off. So this is more all the memorabilia from, man, I wish I had a pistol like that. Why don't they just make guns like this, to protect your home? Yeah. You guys probably already have all these books. But yeah, I don't know, man. Monster books all year long. I never really thought of them as Halloween books. I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, they're just great books, right?
It's just an all year thing. I don't want to sound pretentious like I'm goth. It's Halloween 365 days a year, but it kind of is that way. It's also Christmas 365 days a year. And I love monsters and everything, but I kind of understand Hobby Lobby's attitude towards Halloween. Halloween was something different when I was a kid. It was more innocent. Now it's just all this gore. Spirit Halloween is a perfect example of it's just horrid. It's just like a charnel house. That's not the way Halloween was when I was a kid. It was more like Casper and Wendy pretty much. But things have to change. But it is true. Christmas is also very much a pagan thing. But oh well.
All right.
I'm just BSing.
Very good stuff there. Okay, Eric. And then we'll close out with our guest.
All right. Comic creator, you're asking about Mike Shane. This is the Mike Shane Mysteries box. And there were a bunch of old movies with Lloyd Nolan.
It was also a radio series with Hugh Beaumont playing him. And I think it started as a series of novels. He was all over the place, but now he's forgotten.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of Mike Shane novels.
Yeah.
That were written later on.
They should have had Dean Martin play him and sing.
This came out today.
I got it.
Totally not accurate representation of Green Lantern, because this one's an icky straight guy.
He's cisgender. Yeah.
Thank God Tim Sheridan came along 85 years later and set us straight. That's a wrong choice of words.
But that's a great facsimile. It really is fun to read.
Jack's was bringing these up. These are the trades for Secret Society, and Volume 1 is in paperback. Volume 2 is hardcover. But this has this has the Justice League issues, but it also has the black and white pencils for issue 16, which were actually finished. And then I think 17, the sketches. And then I think, 18 is just a memo to the editor.
Was that the implosion that caused that?
Yes. And since everybody else has been braining, I figure I might as well get in on it at least.
Hey.
Now this rest of normal round. So first Mystique. This is something else that Eglantine sent me. It was very nice of him. My Little Margie. I didn't know that Volume 1 came in hardcover. I've only seen the paperback. It's Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds 42. It's New Funnies 234. $235. And I know I showed these when I got them, and Hans isn't here to weep with me, but I'll show them again.
Nice.
So number 6. And case you're watching, Zach, you might want to turn away for the next minute or so. So, Power Man Iron Fist 55. Uh, 56.
Sweet Christmas.
75. Yeah, when these were out, they were just, it was just another book because so much good stuff was coming out from Marvel at the time. Going back and rereading these are just straight up better than even the best books that the big two, have to offer now. 89, and apparently, Mary Jo Duffy must have been a man pretending to be a woman because, as we all know, women didn't start in comics till 2016. So, let's see. Here's Rawhide. Hey,
Excellent.
95. 147. 77 Sunset Strip.
What do you know?
I need somebody in the background to go. Ksh, ksh. Spider-Man 132. Vankman sent me season 1 of 77. I'm about 10 episodes in. Yeah, Ed Burns played one of the killers in the first episode. Must have gone over well with fans because they made him a different character than a regular. Superboy 145. Superman 159. No, that should keep the mainstream industry and keep me in their good graces at least the rest of the week. Lois Lane, some or other. There's Mighty Thor 181. 310. I know I showed this one already, but Tippy Teen number 15. And we'll finish with Tower of Shadows number 7.
Ooh,
Nice.
And that concludes today's broadcast.
very good stuff. All right. Well, Bill, you've made it to the lightning round and you are up. So let's send us home.
All right. So this matches, show everyone the book that Howler showed earlier. So I don't know how many rounds it's going to have, so I'll try and go fast. I got quite a few books to go through. If I'm going too long, just say
It's
hit
fine.
the road. So
Take your time. I just lit up.
all right. We got Marvel, right? They jumped in the horror game, obviously.
Yeah.
They had their comic books with the Tomb of Dracula, Man Thing, Werewolf by Night, but they also jumped in the magazines. Their black and whites were already doing pretty well, and they were chasing Warren some of that money as well. They had things like Dracula Lives. This is issue number 2. Neil Adams cover from 1973. The first issue was published in June. And they had really, really good cover art. Got Tales of the Zombie, issue number 2. First issue is in August of 73. This is a Boris Vallejo cover. I am a mark for him, especially for his Savage Sword stuff, that he was just pretty incredible. Him and Earl Norm. At first they were doing, this is another Tales Zombie issue number 4 from 74, another Boris Vallejo cover. Gerber, Jerry Conway, Isabella, all writing in here. They were doing reprints of some Atlas PC8 stuff, but then they started getting original stories, really pretty well written. I'd say they're right there in my estimation with Warren, with the exception that they still have a little bit of that superhero after flavor in a lot of their comics that took away a little bit of the spookiness. This is number 6 from 74. This is an Earl Norham cover. Alfredo Alcala, Win Mortimer, Pablo Marcos with interior art. And I think probably Jackson wrote that 40 on there and sent it to me. Wouldn't put it past him. Monsters Unleashed, another Marvel title from 74. This is number 4 with a Bruner cover. We got Simon over there again, number 6, Boris Vallejo cover. Sam Queskin, Mike Plug, Win Mortimer, interior art. Another Monsters Unleashed, number 7, Richard Hescock's cover. Doug Mensch, Conway Isabella doing the lion's share of the writing. Haunt of Horror, another title. Marvel really flooded, as Marvel has been wont to do since their Atlas days, the market with titles. And according to Skywald, Marvel's distributor bullied them and pushed them off the shelves and forced them out early. This is number 2 with an Earl Norham cover. The first one was out in May of 74.
The Marvel books definitely had better distribution than Warren and Skywald, because I saw those in the Marvel stuff in Stop and Go and everywhere when I was a kid.
Right. And according to Saul Brodsky, he said that in the smaller shops, the smaller newsstands, that they were pushed out. That they could only get their magazines in the biggest of the newsstands. Cover by Jose Antonio Domingo. Beautiful Haunt of Horror cover. Doug Mensch, Larry Lieber, Chris Claremont, all writing in that issue. Another Haunt of Horror is number 5 from 75. Dick Giordano cover. Sonny Trinidad, George Evans, Paul Kirchner, Pablo Marcos with interior art. And then we have, speaking of Atlas, we have Atlas Seaboard, right? This is from 1975, wonderful Jeff Jones cover. There are only 2 issues, and the second issue has an amazing Boris Vallejo cover. I have it, but I didn't bring all my comics. Leo Duranona, Ramon Torrance, Ernie Colon, all did interior art. They were right there. They just jumped in at the wrong. Everyone knows their story, but with horror in particular, wrong time, wrong place. But their quality was excellent. Excellent. Right there, right out there with Warren. A lot of people don't know Cracked. The Mad Imitator, they also had some horror magazines. This is one from 1972. This is the last issue of the series. But same publishers that made Cracked magazine. In anything that they thought they could make money on, they put out an imitation. But this is a pretty good cover. I don't know who the cover artist is. All right, trying to run through. So another company did a lot of reprints. When I say reprints, they're actually redraws, right, of PCH stories with Stanley Publications. This is from 1970, covered by Bernard Bailey. The first issue of Shock was from 1969. So I would say a noticeable drop in quality from the previously shown horror magazines to these. Volume 1, number 8, Pete Ross, Lynn Streeter, King Ward with the interior art. Ghoul Tales, another one of their titles. This is number 1 from 1970. So Stanley Morse, right, that was a comic book publisher from the 50s, and they would redraw, usually in a very uninspired manner, those same stories. This is number 3 of Stark Terror from 1970. Hector Castellon with the cover art. And he came through Union Studio from Argentina. There are 5 issues in this series. I'll talk about them in a little while. Chilling Tales of Horror from 1969, Kitona, with the cover art. Another Chilling Tales from 1971. John Blummer, Paul Reinman, Hy Eisman, all with interior art. This is the last issue of the second volume. So, issue number 5, volume 2. Frank Semensky, Richard Case, Harry Lazarus, Edward Moritz. This is from 1971, all with interior art. Which all, their main bread and butter was the men's magazines. Beautiful cover on this one, but that's really where Stanley had the glut of their production output. This is from 1959, but they flooded the market. They had 17 titles in this genre. All right, so that all takes me to what I originally was going to show on this show is those good old Eerie Pubs. So this one's from 1967, covered by Johnny Bruck. This is the first issue of this was from 66. So Eerie Publications did the same thing as Stanley. They did it first. They would take PCH stories. Myron Fass was a Golden Age artist, and he is the publisher. This is Weird Volume 2, Number 6 from 1967, Carl Burgos with the cover. And he would hire artists to redraw the stories. Sometimes they would redraw the same story 2 or 3 times. This is from 1969, covered by Chick Stone. How crazy is that one? So just amazing, over the top, crazy, garish art. Yes, that's right. Again, my kingdom for a blue wrench, right? 1970, Bill Alexander art. Jackson first started learning to write with this magazine.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you can see where he started to trace. Yeah, you pat him on the head, say, "Good, Jackson." The doctor says you're supposed to do that. So, Bill Alexander, African American artist, he did the majority of the covers. Another weird cover by Bill Alexander from 1972, but just so ridiculously awesome. Love them. Clearly, there's a difference in quality, but I celebrate the lowbrow quality with these magazines. They're fantastic. Volume 6, number 3 from 1972. And most of the interior artists that they had were from Argentina. Witch's Tales, Volume 3, number 3 from 1971. This is the Johnny Bruck cover. So Johnny Bruck was a German artist who created hundreds of paperback cover art for a series called Perry Rodin, a German space opera series. And Myron Fass bought a bunch of his art that was already previously used on that and figured he'd throw some on the Eerie Pub sci-fi and horror magazines. This is Witch's Tales from 1972. Fernando Fernandez with the cover art. Just love that one. Fantastic. But at any rate, a lot of the Argentine artists worked on Charlton books, sci-fi, war, romance, and some horror, as well as these Eerie Publications. A few of them found greater fame, but for the most part, this is 1971 Johnny Bruck cover. For the most part, they stuck with Eerie Publications. Tales of Voodoo from 1972, Bill Alexander. Ezra Jackson, another African-American artist, did a lot of interior stuff as well. 1973, Bill Alexander cover, but Walter Cassaday, Oscar Fraga, Dick Ayers, Torre Repiso, Cirilo Munoz, Alberto Macagno, all did a lot of interior work. 1973, Bill Alexander cover. And they did a couple, although they didn't do too well. They did a couple of crime ones as well.
I've
Number
never heard of
10,
that one.
Yeah, from 1970. There's a guy on YouTube, that rascal, that has the original art for this. I saw one of his videos.
So that's a gangster one.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Bill
Meyer
Alexander.
Greenblatt showed a Western one put out by that company. I
Yep,
think it was called Real West.
Ooh.
That was just insanely bloody. I wound up finding one.
Absolutely, yep. So what would happen is, unfortunately, a lot of these, if you look at a cover and you're like, "Boy, I've seen that before," you have seen it before, because Carl Burgos would paste up so many covers that they'd already used images from previous covers, take something out, add something, change the hair color. Instead of just commissioning a new cover, they would do that. 1974, Javier Villanova with the cover art. Love this one. But and they did that with the stories a lot too. Like I said, they would have different artists do the same story, sometimes 3 different times. Terror Tales, Volume 7, Number 4 from 74. This is a Burgos cover. But yeah, Burgos would cut and paste, especially later on, so many times, sometimes up to 3 times the same image. Tales from the Two, Volume 4, Number 2, 1972. This is a Burgos cover. Is really this was originally with Weird, Volume 2, Number 9. So they just reused it, changed it a little bit for this one. This is Tales from the Tomb, 1972, Bill Alexander cover. This was also pasted up on Horror Tales, Volume 2, Number 2, and Terror Tales, Volume 6, Number 5. Same covers. If Myron Fast thought he could make money from it, he would print it. Another Bill Alexander cover. This is Horror Tales from 1971, a Johnny Bruck cover.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks like Jackson on Thanksgiving. Right there.
You've got all the stats memorized. You're like Howard Cosell with this stuff.
Well, I've got little writings on the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had it
I'm not that
memorized.
good. But you can tell the Johnny Bruck covers, they're so different. They're so sci-fi oriented, right? Horror Tales. This also appeared on a version of Shock. But this one has Web of Evil stories in it. Fernando Fernandez with the cover art. Another Horror Tales from 1972, Bill Alexander with the cover art again. Another Bill Alexander cover, Horror Tales. Really like that one. A couple of my favorites coming up. This is one of my favorites. This is Fernando Fernandez from 74. This was originally on Witch's Tales, Volume 3, Number 6. So they just reused that image, changed the background colors a little bit. This is Volume 8, Number 5 from 77. Bill Alexander with the cover art, originally on Weird Volume 6, Number 6. This might be my favorite cover in all of them. This is from 1978. This is an Oscar Nobel cover. So one of the few Argentine artists that actually did a cover. Love it. He did several covers, actually. And we got Terrors of Dracula from 1980. Bill Alexander cover, same as Terror Tales, Volume 5, Number 1. They just changed it a little. Actually, they did it 3 times. Did the paste up on that. Terrors of Dracula. I believe this is an Alexander cover. It's been done twice, 1980.
Yeah, those were to cash in on the Frank Langella Dracula, believe it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. They were, yeah. And this is from 81, Carl Burgos cover. And this is another paste up. It's been done to death at least 3 times that I saw, but really do enjoy it. So they produce all the way through the early 80s with off and on. But that is it. That is my presentation. Really love those magazines. Hope to get some more, but some of them are tough to find, especially in decent condition.
Oh, they were fantastic. seldom see that. So thank you so much. And we appreciate that you had somebody deliver one of your relatives to a soccer game so that you were able to stay here with us. We appreciate that. So
I did. Mrs. Musings took many musings there, so I was off the hook for one day at least.
these were behind the scenes, folks. So it's when his people were talking to my people. Well, that was a great show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And Eric had to slip out during all that, but yeah, we never get tired of seeing all this. This is fabulous stuff. But everybody had great stuff, and I think everybody had a lot of fun. Don't forget that this coming Thanksgiving, you can see a stream if you so desire. Me and Joe Morton will. Who knows what we're going to be talking about, but look forward to that. And for the rest of you, watch these guys' channels, sub all these guys up, and we thank everybody in the chat. And I don't know if anyone has any other big announcements, but we'll get out of here in the next few seconds. So speak now, forever hold your peace. Top notch. I agree, Lead Paint.
I will be on Mastodon's channel tomorrow for a celebration stream of the 100th birthday of Luis Dominguez. So I will be with Metarog on that show. Looking forward to that.
Will it be live?
Yes, it will be a live stream.
We'll definitely look for that. So, all right. Until next time, we'll look forward to seeing you. So happy drawing. Good night.
Good night, kids.
Good night, everybody.